In this video, we're going to talk about some of the lesser known benefits of keto, as it's not all about weight loss. Firstly, let's start with the brain. The brain's main fuel source is glucose, but whilst there are some areas of the brain where glucose is essential, ketones can provide as much as 70% of the brain's energy needs. And it doesn't just function, the brain performs extremely well using ketones, and it's even been suggested that ketones supply energy to the brain in a more efficient manner than glucose, and that ketones may actually be the brain's preferred fuel source. Some examples of what keto and ketones might be beneficial for in relation to the brain are brain injury, seizures, Alzheimer's disease, memory function, migraine, and Parkinson's disease. Keto often gets a bad rap in the press, but if you dig deep, there's actually a lot of science to back up all of these claims, and there's lots of interesting research ongoing at the moment. Personally, one of my favorite benefits is the mental clarity and focus you experience when in ketosis. Now, this is because ketones are crossing the blood-brain barrier, and ketones are being used in a much more efficient manner than glucose. Next on the list is hormones. Many people, especially women, have started experimenting with keto as a way to manage hormone imbalances. One of the most common conditions that we hear about is PCOS. PCOS, or polycystic ovary syndrome, is a common disease which affects around 10% of women, and it can cause issues with fertility, weight gain, menstruation, and even excess facial and body hair. One of the reasons keto is a potential treatment for PCOS is that it's much more common in women with excess weight, type 2 diabetes, previous gestational diabetes, and other conditions relating to insulin resistance, and keto has been proven to improve all of these conditions. Next on the list is cancer. Now, cancer was previously thought to be a genetic condition, but there's mounting evidence to suggest that cancer is actually a metabolic disease. That is, nutrition and lifestyle play a major role. Now, this is a very controversial topic, so I'm not going to get into this into too much detail here. It's just worth being aware that there's a lot of noise in the scientific community about the potential of the ketogenic diet as a cancer intervention. Last but not least is inflammation. For the most part, inflammation is actually a good thing inside the body, but there's two different types of inflammation: acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Acute inflammation is where there's an immune response to something going wrong inside the body, such as a virus or an infection. Now, this type of inflammation is actually a good thing and the body needs it. Conversely, chronic inflammation occurs when it shouldn't. For example, it can be triggered by exposure to toxins, chronic stress, obesity, autoimmune disorders, and nutritional inputs such as vegetable oils and refined carbohydrates. Now, this type of inflammation is associated with numerous health problems, including heart disease, arthritis, depression, Alzheimer's disease, and even cancer. But the good news is, you might have guessed it, there's mounting research to suggest that switching to a keto diet could also help reduce chronic inflammation.